today we will be not we but I will be learning some math operations as I already mentioned here. Math operations now. Math operations are just some symbols saying you to do certain things in maths, but sometimes they're more than that. So let's just start with something much more simple like addition. Now, when you have such addition, yeah, addition, ones, whatever. Now, you have such of an addition here. Now, this is the addition sign which actually represent to add two positive values. It just doesn't mean addition. Suppose you have 2 plus 2. Now, here it means you're adding plus 2 and plus 2 with all together with addition, and you're adding the value. And another rule of mathematics is that when a positive value gets added with another value positive, it becomes bigger like this. Now, this is a very foolish explanation, but it's a rule. Now let's get into something much more a little bit complex. Now suppose you have 2 minus 2. Now here everybody will think that it's just 2 minus 2. There's nothing very special about this thing. Now if you write 2 minus 2, or suppose let's take another value, 3 minus 1. Now here's some deeper meanings inside this thing, like there is much more deeper than you think, because when you take something deeper like 3, it's like what is like in the base of it or in the main theme of it, it's actually written like this: 3 plus minus 1. Now here's again more than something this, there's 3 plus minus 1 times 1. This is the actual written form of a 3 minus 1. Look how a simple math just turned into a complex, like whatever expression. Look, it's not much more bigger than whatever we thought. Like y minus 1 is, you may say, multiplied, because wait a little bit, if you have, now let's take variables. Now if you have a minus b plus c, suppose, now this thing is a, if we write it as a plus, look, minus b, like I use first bracket, but I know you have to use second bracket, but second bracket writing here is very hard. So b plus c, right? Now look, we know minus distributes. Why? Because minus is always multiplied. Look, now you have a plus minus 1 times b plus c. Now we multiply as we know the distributive property of multiplication. I will explain that later in a video, but right now that's what it is. Now we multiply due to the distributive property of multiplication. It's a property of multiplication which actually works for every cases, but I still have some confusion about it. But whatever, it's just about a video about myself, not a teaching video. Now look, that's why now you get a plus minus b and minus c. So that's what transforms into a minus b minus c. That's what it transforms into later. But many people doesn't understand this, but they just follow some rules like a calculator. But being a calculator and being understanding is a completely different thing. Whatever. And again, some another operations, but this is more of not a operations but more of a like a order, because when you have multiplication, suppose you have multiplication, this is the multiplication sign we all know and use, but still when you have 2 times 2. It means 2 plus 2. This this number represents how many times it should be added. It's just repeated addition. Multiplication is just repeated addition. Whatever. Now repeated addition, yeah, that's what it is. It will be always repeated addition. That's what multiplication means. Multiplication is not just a different operation doing something different. It's just the main basis of addition, just repeated addition. Now we use repeated addition in many ways, so that's why we transform it into a new order which we call multiplication, where literally suppose you have 2 times 2 literally means 2 plus 2. Again, suppose you have 4 times 2 literally means 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. It says which number should be added, it says how many times it should be added. Done. Simple. Now let's get into something complex like division. Now division is little bit of complex to understand. Like I also find it complex. I still have some doubts about it, but yeah, that's what it is. Like I have some doubts about it. Now suppose you have 2 divided by 4. Now here you know which one is denominator and which one is numerator. Like I don't have to say it, but still. Now here we can see that it's 2 by 4. Now 2 by 4, we can think of it like repeated subtraction, but repeated subtraction doesn't really make sense in like once I found that division is actually repeated subtraction. Suppose you have 12 divided by 4. It means you just do this 12 minus 4. Like you have to transform it into 0. So 12 minus 4 is what? Wait, my recording just get off. It just cut off and just ruined my entire video. Whatever. Now it's 8. Now again 8 minus 4. It's a 4. Now again 4 minus 4 is 0. Now look, we have transformed it into 0, right? So how many times we had to subtract to transform it into 0? It's wait a little bit. Let me give you a much more better explanation. It's 12 divided by 4. Now you have 12 minus 4 equals 8. Now 8 minus 4 equals 4, and 4 minus 4 equals 0. Now look, 1, 2, 3. Now look, for 3 is a 12. How many times you have to subtract from that number or remove that number to, like, yeah, that's all. But it doesn't work for all cases. It's just a way of thinking, I guess, because I still have some common problems with division. I can do division, but I have some like problem in understanding division. Like if anyone understands, please explain it to me, like anyone who actually understands division, but not other than anyone. Like many of my teachers doesn't even understand maths. Like they just do maths like following some instruction, but math isn't about following instruction, it's about following the logic. But if you don't understand logic, that's why people make illogical mistakes in math. So I have no other things to say, but the main thing is, yeah, actually this. I don't know how it actually. I'm going to say this, but now when you have 1 by 2s, that means something 1 was divided into. Suppose this circle it was divided into 2, and its place of that second or the a slice means a slice half. That's why it means half. Like it was divided into 2 pieces. Something was divided into 2 pieces. Something was divided into 2 pieces, and that's a one part of that piece. That's what division means. Now when you when you take common denominator, suppose you 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, when you why do you need, many people take LCM but they doesn't know why they have to take the least common factor. To take the least common factor, because it would mean then how many in total, how many slice was it cut into, like how many pieces was that thing or that object was divided into, and how many part of that object it means. Suppose, let me give you another example. Suppose you have 1 by 3 and 2 by 3. Oh man, sorry, 2 by 3. I hate this form. Okay, so not 2 by 3, but let's write it as 1 by 2. Okay, now look, you cannot just add the 3 plus 2. Why? Because it doesn't make sense like that. Now, in how many total equal slices you have to cut that object? Now, when you multiply in this thing, when 3 or 2 are multiplied, it makes common sense, because if you think that total thing, now if we use the LCM, man, I hate this phone. Whatever. Now, if you take LCM, you would get 2 by 6. That means that part something was divided into 6 equal parts. You have to divide each and every fraction into equal parts, then you can see fraction, because fraction means this thing means how many part was the object divided into, and how many part or equal part of that object is there's, it means 1/3, or means something was divided into 3 pieces, and yeah, something was divided into 3 pieces, and it's a one piece of that thing, a single piece of that chart, equally 3 piece, that was the object that was equally divided into 3 pieces. like, yeah, this is the main thing of division, and many people doesn't understand it. I also find it really harder, and I don't think I have to explain the greater than and less than signs. This is the most commonsensical thing in the earth, and I don't think you have to say me anything, but I have more things to say. Always you have to remember that a minus b is always a plus minus b, because when you write this thing, because this thing, look at this, it literally means you're adding a positive value, you're adding a positive value with a negative value, which would end up in cancelling the positive value of with the negative value of the negative number, or yeah, that thing, like positive negative always. That's why when you see atoms actually attract the positive negative ions, positive negative ions, because as they can cancel each other's charge, the positive charge, and they become neutral by cancelling the extra charge that they doesn't need. And there's more to know, but the main thing I know about atoms is this reason, this mathematical reason actually of the atoms are actually, that's why what I'm learning maths right now, not chemistry. What? So that's the main thing. I know this video was really boring, and it wasn't for you guys, it's for me. I always forget sometimes these things, so I just recorded it. And if you're seeing this thing, I have some confusion about division right now. Okay, so if you know anyone who really understands math, or if you understand math, can you email me, or like let me understand how actually this works. You can write it in the comments, or you can email me.